Alrighty, hello everyone. Today we're going to go ahead and break down the new map that Valorant just released on last Tuesday, so a little under a week ago, called Ascent. So you can see I'm already several rounds into the match, just so that we could go ahead and highlight all of the entry points from both sides. I'm Jet right now, so we can see some angles, and we are on attack. So this first one is what a lot of people call just like a B main entrance. I've heard B short as well. We have an alt point that sits up here on top of the boxes. Now you can't reach it from either side, but you do have to get on top of this one or on this one to get it. You can see if you back up here and hug this box as tightly as you can capture it from here. And I'll show you where the defenders enter in a little bit here. So notably, one of the new things added in the map are these door triggers here. And you're going to see with this wire here, it's connected to this door. It's very loud. You know, you can hear it from a whiles away. And it's also destructible. You can see damage is indicated by the color in the middle. So this means that it's heavily damaged. And once it's destroyed, you can't use this door switch again to have it either come up or go down. This is what B site looks like. See these two boxes here. You can't notably you cannot plant up here. And then there's this back room as well that gives you a way to look at both sides.
10 seconds left.
So typically what'll happen is when pushing from this side, defender door spawns here, attacker door spawns here. So a lot of the time the angle you're going to have to check is right here with them in this corner. Sometimes if they have a dash ability like Jet's E, they could be hiding in this, waiting for you to come around as a defender. And then there's also this little cubby right here. Now there's not a lot of crazy, you know, angles that Jet can get on here, which is why I picked her to see, you know, angles you could jump up on. So you can get on top of the crates that are here, and that could be a good angle. You see how you slide right off the roof. Notably, behind that, the little boat where the door switch is also a little half circle or crescent shape that you can get behind. That I've seen a lot of people look at either the mid, which is where the door is, or B main, which is where we came out of. So now we're gonna go ahead and show off the attacker side, the attacker B side mid wall.
This is gonna be fun.
You can see all the walls up here. So if you look here, this is the basic safe zone that you can see. Now it's very easy for the defenders to get access to this zone right here. This is called catwalk that we're looking at. This is mid, this is catwalk. I'll show you that on the defender side as well. But it's really easy for people to be up here when defending and to peek out at you. Now, notably, this is where the defender door is, right where our Sova is standing. So this whole open area, left and right, is very easily accessible to defenders. So pushing from B mid is very difficult to do. Especially without smokes, because you need to smoke off this mid area. Sorry, you need to smoke off this mid area so that you're covering any sniper fire that might be coming through. So you notice I would have put this right if we thought they were over there. If we know that they're over here, aiming right for the middle is a very good idea, because getting across, if you're needing to cross over to A, is crucial sometimes. Biggest thing to know about this point is these two walls here are just like the doors. They give you little indicators on how much damage they've taken. And once they fall down, you'll notice that they have it's significantly easier to penetrate them. Now, it's almost like wall armor that exists at that certain point. And you need to use that wall armor to your advantage and know that when it goes down, people shooting you from up on catwalk or trying to shoot you, maybe just lay down fire on these walls from the mid area, are going to be able to get that down. All right, let's go ahead and look at the other side of mid.
Let's get these idiots.
So the other side of mid we're going to be looking at here is called A mid, or also called catwalk. And catwalk's a very popular area for people to be, and I'm going to show you why. Because catwalk gives you a great vantage view of mid, but it also gives you a really easy way to rotate into the
Let's
A
fly.
point. Mid on this map is one of the most crucial areas that you would need to take, because mid is the best access point to all forms of rotation, be it on their side of the spawn, B mid, A mid, catwalk, the flanks from going into the enemy spawn. So you can see there's this little cubby down here. It doesn't give you a whole lot to view, but it's just another way to look into mid on the defender side. See, we were just here last round. Now catwalk, notably from an attacker's point of view, has a very good shot at looking into this room that was over by B point. And so a lot of ops and marshals will hold this angle. This is the sniper angle that pretty much exists on the map. The peak wars are going to be going on between attacker catwalk and defender B mid, or just defender mid, I suppose. You can also see that you have very good range there. So I have Sova standing where the wall ends for defenders. We'll get into that in just a minute. There's this little cubby that you can poke around, try and see people down here. And this angle here leads right into A. You'll see that A is here. Now, this is also another door that can get shut. I'll show that on the next round. But you'll notice how after you've cleared catwalk, if this door is open, you need to be very careful because you have a lot of ways you can get caught out here. But if you go left, let me get plant down real quick so I have a little bit more time.
10 seconds left. Spike planted.
But if you come in this room from catwalk, clear that out, you can see how you have two options. You can go left, which basically leads into defender spawn, or back to B if you go straight that way. Or you have this little breakable glass that respawns every round that from this angle gets you up into A heaven. Looking down on it here. And there's also this little loop around to go, back to defender spawn / B, catwalk, or heaven. So this is a very versatile area that you need to control. You need to watch this corner, this side, and this corner as well. Because a lot of people are going to be covering those areas and trying to protect them so that they can cover their flank and cover rotations. Last area is just going to be the A main wall. So you can see this is a little corner thing. Now, a lot of the times you're going to see, this has nothing to do with where it spawns, but just people sitting in this corner to watch the catwalk flank on attackers. If defenders win mid, they can come up with catwalk, meet you guys here, and have a complete view behind you. And I've seen a lot of people use Sova recon arrows up here, and then, hold this angle so that if anyone flanks, they can get behind them. Other than that, it's pretty much a straight shot. Some crates here. Second alt point spawns here. There's this little nook right here, which is important because the defenders are going to be able to have a very big open view of you. Both points on this map are very choked with the main way to get in them. It's just one, one hallway. So once you're actually pushing in order to get to this door, you need to clear the defender side of catwalk. You also need to clear heaven enough to buy yourself time to get in. So yeah, wall starts basically like right here. So you push in. Let's say they're camping in this corner. You could clear them out somehow. Heaven's clear. You also have this little nook down here you can dip into, just so that you have attack angles from left and from the right. So this is again where the second door comes from, or is, and can cut off where they're coming from if they're on the catwalk side. A very popular place for people to plant is right here on the left side of this generator. And then two very popular directions that people come from. Let me see if you can hear him. Yep, you can hear Sova walking up on heaven right now. And I'm going to have him standing up on top of it so you know what heaven is here. This is the heaven area. So there's two popular angles that you need to protect when you are attacking. You need to have someone underneath. This is just called underneath heaven, or down, below. You can go left and you can go right to get this side of it. This popular plant spot, you're going to want to see this to protect this. And then there's these two little crates over here in the corner you can get into to watch. This is where that glass door was over here. You can see that I had view of it here. Defender spawn, and here's that glass door again. So those are two really important angles you need to get, especially if the door is staying up. You're blocking off where they're coming from, or where they're able to come from via catwalk.
Spend it.
So hanging out underneath gives you a really good open way to rotate left and right to view the whole point. And then heaven up top gives you a very good vantage point on them coming from their spawn. Now, notably, you can have them work together because when you're sitting on those crates, like I was saying, you were looking at this angle towards their spawn. And when you were down underneath, you were looking at this angle onto point. So that covers, 180 degrees plus another 45 here with this whole, I'll just show you on the point. But the whole back angle looking this way isn't covered, but that's covered by the wall. So you have this area covered by someone up here, assuming that you've cleared this spot out. You've got this whole angle covered, and you've got this whole angle covered if you have two people covering the spot like that. Again, the points being choked are a good and a bad thing, because once you are in the point, it means it's very easy to defend once you have established the advantageous position. Go ahead and flip sides real quick.
Outrun me.
And now we're going to take a look at some of the defender points. Well, all the defender points.
Just, from the front.
Alright, so again, we're going to start the B main side. You can see this is the spawn area. There's this little ledge that gets a little bit of use, especially on rotations. If you catch someone, going from B to A, you can catch them here. You can stay up here. Get a good advantage on looking down on them. Here's the door. Here's the side again that we're seeing. This is that little crescent that I was talking about, the little half circle that exists. It's also a really good way to get a view of both B mid where the door is and B main. So you'll see. Oh, I was wondering why I wasn't working. You can see if we know that they're pushing B, you can hold this corner angle, completely cut you off if you need to, but this is penetratable. And you can also, if you clear this out, go ahead and able to look mid both ways. Really, you can look all three ways, but you spawn from here, so it just gives you advantage on these two positions. Some things that are worth noting for people with, upward movement, like Jet. If she clears this out and gets caught, maybe there's someone in this corner here. This is a good thing. This is a good thing to jump up on. You can't just jump onto this area, this ledge as any character. It does not work. And then a good scoping area would be, you'll notice how anyone can get on top of this box, but not everyone can get on top of these two barrels. Well, if you use upward movement, you can get a pretty good crouching angle. This has, a lot of your bottom half covered as well.
30 seconds
Especially if you're
left.
going to be able to lay down, op fire or LMG fire somewhere on this area. You know that they're coming this way. You got a pretty decent view of the door. You can stand up on this and rotate it a little bit to get a full view. But if you're wanting to hide behind the, cover at least half your body, this is a very good angle to do that from.
10 seconds left.
And again, remember this corner as a defender because they can hide back here. And if you're peeking this, they will hide behind there and get you when you go out, if you're pushing their spawn location. Alright, this is mid from the defender side. This is the room that gets cut off by the door once it closes. Typically, this is just referred to as mid. I know when you open up the map, it says mid pizza here. That's just because of this pizzeria that's closed down. So you can see immediately up onto attacker side catwalk once the door raises. Again, I'm not moving. I'm just going to move left and right so you can see. You have immediate view on catwalk. They would be coming out from this side. And there are crates over here that they can duck behind. But this is going to be one of the sniper angles you need to familiarize yourself with. And then if you move over this way, you can also see their B-mid entrance. So we have their two little door armors that we were just talking about a few rounds ago. And so if you've cleared this, let's say this angle is pretty clear because they can't see you either way. You can move up here, here-ish, before they have vision of you to rotate left. If you need to get up closer, rotate right if you need to get closer. This is another angle where if you can go up onto the bench and onto this trash can, onto this, little grass thing. But it's only on this side, and not everyone can jump up here, but someone with upward movement, which I forgot to buy, could get up there as well. And you'll see that they have very good vision of it, but, if they're ducking down here, you could get up on that, look down on them, kind of like the B point on Split with the sewers. If they where they can plant here and you look down on them from heaven. And then we're going to be exploring this angle next, the catwalk location from defender side.
10 seconds left. Match point.
All right, match points. We're going to have to let them win one. All right, you can see how we ran just right from spawn. Now you have two options. This is just the A main option. This is the catwalk option that I was telling you guys about. Here's the little connector area with the glass door. So this is where the defender point stops.
Are they asleep?
And I'm going to move Sova in position so we can get a reminder about where their thing is. So we, as defenders, have this little angle to cover the B mid from attackers. Now, as attackers, you get the first jump on this area. So a lot of the times you'll see defenders poke their head out and possibly get gunned down because attackers are holding that angle there. Something that's really important to remember is you can hold this corner angle. They have to either come here or here. And if you're defending, typically they're going to come from here because that's where you spawned. Upward movement can get you up on top of these boxes.
No charges left.
Like an Omen teleport, a Jet Q. And initially clearing, coming out from here, you're very exposed right away. So you need to be very careful that they're not peeking you here. And just to give you a little frame of reference, you can hide here, but someone on attacking side has perfect vision of that entire doorway that you just came through. So this angle left here is pretty attacker favored just because of how many different angles they can be looking at you here. But it's defender favorite in the sense that you're looking down on them, and having the higher ground can be really advantageous as well. So this is where the attacker's catwalk ends right here. You can see they have to take
10 seconds left.
A few steps forward just to get up here. So I guess it's about the same time. It might be a little bit defender favored, but not much. Need to make sure Sova gets the kill on us here so we can watch another round. And so last angle we're going to cover is the A main angle.
Wind, show me where to go.
Here's this glass door again. So going down and out to the right would lead you to catwalk. I'm going to stay up in heaven for now so I can explain a little bit about what tends to happen in matches on this map.
You better run, Sova.
Yes, ma'am. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move our Sova into position to pretend that he's actually trying to siege onto A. You're going to notice they can only come from this angle. They can only come from that right angle because that is the only place it leads to. So if they are pushing from A main, they're going to be coming through this doorway. The only other way they could go is through catwalk, through this door that you can shut as well. So depending on the timing of the match, it would be pretty important to get that door shut to cut off a complete angle from the attackers, or may have to or force them to make noise in order to take it down. Anyone can reach these boxes. I just happen to float with Jet. Let me go ahead and do it without floating. Anyone can reach these boxes with upward movement. Jet can reach over here. Anyone can reach these boxes, you know, just by being on the ground. Oh, I lied. You do need upward movement. I thought anyone could make those.
30 seconds left.
Regardless, anyone can get up on this angle, raise, omen, me if I wouldn't have just messed it up, and look down on here. This is pretty popular. There's a lot of people that'll hover up here just to get that side view of someone coming through. You know, defenders don't have any way to attack this position. They only have ways of attacking the choke point and courtyard if it exists. So let's just do one more round so we can try and look at some better upward movement that we might have access to. So we already showed off this one, the one sitting on top of the barrels. That's probably the best, you know, upward movement angle you can get here. The little jump up here that characters can't make unless they have upward movement. I'll try and get up here real quick, and then we'll go back, see if I can get on those corner boxes. Again, something really important to remember. Catwalk, mid are always highly contested, but crucial to winning on this map. I mean, if you as an attacking team are forcing either B main or A main every single round, you're gonna get mowed down. The sites are so choked. If you don't have smokes to get you into the points, it's almost useless in trying. There's so many angles that defenders up here. They can be here. They can be here. Here. They could be over there in this, you know, holding this angle. They can be holding this angle. This angle. There's about 7 different angles that they get to choose where they want to set up that you have to try and defend. And it's just next to impossible to do super easily as an attacker. So notably Jet can get up here, walk all the way around here. Don't know how useful that is, but it's something to consider. Especially later on into the round once you know, the opening sniping wars have stopped. And you're going to see people hold this angle or down here just because everyone expects Heaven to be the popular place for defending because it just has such a great vantage view on here. You know, if you're a defender and you're really worried about it, boom, go ahead and close this door. The only 2 angles that they now have to get onto A are through your spawn as a defender or through the main A choke point. And if they go through the main A choke point, they're so
10 seconds left.
Clustered up that just some amount of suppressing fire will clear the push entirely.
Too easy.
Alright, that's it for diving into the Ascent map. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments or questions, go ahead and leave them down below. I'll take a look at them. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for tuning in.